Errata. I didn't talk about this sooner just because I wasn't home. The Necrovally errata, yeah, I'm saying it's actually bad for Gravekeepers. It's more good for Gravekeepers than it is bad. Don't get me wrong. Um, Now, if you don't know the seventh errata of Necrovally, at the sixth errata, cards like Glow Up Bulb, Cosmic Cyclone, Performage, Trick Clown, Zephyros the Elite, those could move themselves from the graveyard. As long as a card was moving itself, it could be moved from the graveyard, and you could affect cards that are in the graveyard. You just couldn't move them. With the seventh errata now, cards in the graveyard, anything that affects a card in the graveyard, even if it's targeting itself, gets negated. So that, yeah, means your opponent can't use Cosmic Cyclone to get rid of it. It also means that in Gravekeepers, you can't play Glow Up Bulb, Trick Clown, Zephyros the Elite, or anything else like that, which, if you know my decks, I've very much enjoyed playing those cards specifically for quite a long time in Gravekeepers. And this was kind of one of the things that when people ask me, how can you possibly enjoy playing Gravekeepers? This is one of the things I said, was that I can enjoy playing the deck because there are ways you can work around Necrovally stopping the graveyard. There are things you can do with that, and you can play around with that where you can use your graveyard and your opponent can't because you're playing specifically built to do this. And my synchro build way back was my synchro build of Gravekeepers, or well, not the one specifically, I had a bunch of them, but they were pretty heavily based around this concept of that cards can move themselves from the graveyard, but other things can't move, but cards can't move other cards from the graveyard. In that I would use things like Glow Up Bulb and do that. Now, I'm gonna need to either reread it or get a clarified ruling. I just woke up, so I can't seem to clearly figure this out right now. But if you can't use even cards like Dandelion, maybe, because that in a way has to do with the graveyard because it's being sent to the graveyard to trigger its activation. I don't know how that's gonna be ruled or whatever, but you probably can still do that stuff. I would assume. Anyway. But if you can't, then that's really weird. Now, so that is bad for Gravekeepers in that way of that it takes away that creativity, the additional things you can build into your own deck that you can do. And like at the present point in time, I'm actually playing a Performance Trick Clown in my deck, so I'm gonna have to take that out. And this, I'm very confused by what was the need for a seventh errata on Necrovally. Now it might sound like I hate this, but I actually do like this errata. I'm just very confused by it because a lot of decks now don't have outs to Necrovally at all, aside from Castile, which I can stop, Space Typhoon, or Twin Twister, which they have to draw into, and I am able to stop as well. Necrovally is very hard to out. It's very hard to get rid of a Gravekeeper player's Necrovally at this point in time now. As I've said, you can't use Cosmic Cyclone, Glow Up Bulb, Trick Clown, Zephyros the Elite. You can't even like put back your blue layer if you're playing Super Quantums. Aside from blue layer, those were some pretty big outs to Necrovally, in that, you know, with the Glow Bulb, you can go into Synchros. With the Zephyros and the Trick Clown, you can go into Castile real quick from there. But now that you can't do that even, a lot of decks just don't have outs to Necrovally. And some people aren't actually even maining Space or Twin Twister. So Necrovally has become extremely dangerous. So this is definitely very good for, well, me and any other Gravekeeper players. This is good for anyone playing a Necrovally Demise deck, like Demise Klee. But at the same time, like I said, it is bad for us in the way of that it does stop the level of creativity. Puts a like block there of we can't use those cards ourselves either, which has always been a problem in Gravekeepers. In that you can't access your graveyard either unless you can control Gravekeeper's chief. Now this might be interesting, if because of this errata we actually see Gravekeeper's chief played by someone. It's probably not going to be me. I'm just saying. I haven't played chief in a long time. Now my solution to this, really simple. I'm just going to take out the Trick Clown and put in Rite of Spirit. At the moment, I'm actually not playing Rite of Spirit, and if you know my decks, I really like that card. It's just called a Haunted that doesn't have to stay on the field. So, yeah, it does mean I have to take out the Trick Clown though, and that's going to make Solidarity not as good, because I am playing Solidarity right now, and I'll make I'm not going to promise I will, but make a video about it, but the attack stat has raised from 25 to 26, the standard high attack. So that's been a challenge. And yeah. So yeah, I'm trying Solidarity out. I kind of put it in as a joke of I kind of don't know what to do about this, but then it worked out really well. So I might talk about interesting cards like Solidarity and trying stuff out that just for fun and seeing if it works. Anyway, yeah, this errata, the 7th errata to Necrovally, is both good and bad. Anyways, that's all my rambling for now, so till next time.